Hey friends, Justin here, back with another video. I hope everyone has been well. I hope you had a great weekend. It's been a while since I've been on to film. I've been super busy. I'll share with you, I recently got a promotion at work, and that starts next Monday. So I've got this week to kind of wrap up and get ready for it. So lots of good things going on with me. Tell me what's been going on with you guys since we've last talked. I miss you all, and thank you for tuning in. This particular video is about a recent Netflix limited series that I started watching. I did the first episode the other night, and then when I get the appetite, I'll continue and keep updating you guys. But it was called High on the Hog. I watched episode 1, which is about 45 minutes. And it was about how soul food and how traditional Southern foods took their roots in America. And I mean, this was such a journey. They went all the way back to Benin and to Ghana and to all of these places where the slave trade took place. And there were certain foods that they described, okra, and certain things that, I won't talk completely about, but certain foods that came on the boats with the slaves that they brought that were unique and new crops to the United States. Rice and okra and all kinds of different things that you'll find in this documentary are just fascinating, that were not native to the Americas and didn't come. The certain traditions of cooking and certain styles. You'll be surprised to learn, they originated in Africa. And the first episode is really a look back in order to look forward. They travel all the way back to Benin and to Ghana to look at the food scene today and to see how similar it is to American cuisine, to see how the roots of the things that we're doing, they've been doing for hundreds and in some cases thousands of years. And I don't know, it was a really fascinating, it was a really nourishing journey. They went through different fishing villages and talked to natives and talked to chieftains, and I just thought it was really, really cool. I haven't moved on to episode 2. That'll be next when I get a little bit more bandwidth, but I just thought it was so cool. I went to a restaurant a couple of weeks ago here in Dallas, Texas, called Cocktails and Kitchens, but it is an African American style restaurant. And so what I had oh my goodness, I had crab cakes that were super, super delicious, but I had fried okra as an appetizer, and it's so fitting at an African American restaurant. And then I had these succulent lamb chops. I mean, you're talking about, I ate them for 2 days. They were so good. But when I was watching this documentary, it was so interesting that they talked about okra and they talked about lamb and they talked about these different things that were traditional African dishes. And I had never thought about it. Growing up, okra was not a popular dish, but it was always important that when you had okra, that it be fried such a certain way. Fry it crispy and fry it hard so that it's got a certain consistency. And I think, and it's kind of a sense memory that we all kind of have going back generations and generations. And I don't know if it's something about the way that it used to be made on a different continent. But it was really interesting to know that okra was one of the foods that came over on the slave ships with the slaves, and tying it into my own experience, as someone who thinks of themselves as, totally removed from that scenario and situation. The people that they interviewed, they reminded me of my aunts, my uncles, my mother, one of the ladies. And I just thought it was a really fun and really light and inspirational journey. You know, you learn about recipes and the beginnings of agriculture and different things and the different contributions that African Americans made to. They're beginning to talk about the contributions that we made to Southern culture, Southern cuisine, and America's diet, overall. They had some fascinating, plays on Japanese cuisine and traditional African cuisine there in Benin and different food spots that they went around in Ghana and Africa. And there's a real push nowadays to, or at least there was a push in this documentary to really invest and to really find and reconnect to the food scene in Ghana. There's a lot of futurism and a lot of what's native and what's important is sometimes lost. And so there's a push nowadays to get back to that traditional way of making foods, a traditional way of gathering, because meal times, Sunday dinners in African American culture and in African culture, are such an ingrained part of our experience. That commonality of the meal, and food, our journeys with food and seasonings and recipes and that traditional and oral culture, we can use that where we don't have necessarily lineage or DNA. We can use that to trace the story back to the particular tribes and cultures and cities and civilizations that a lot of us are from or can trace our roots to. And it's truly fascinating. They're talking to the people there in Benin and Ghana, and it's merci, and they're speaking French. There's an amazing mix of French and African culture and foods, very reminiscent of what you'd find in New Orleans with the, in the Bayou culture. So anyway, I think it's a really fascinating first episode. It's about 45 minutes long, very light, no politics, but just a really fun food journey. And it's really interesting, if you're an intellectual person, to connect the dots, through the cultural experience that the Africans had, that they're having, and that we as African Americans continue the traditions of food. And the importance of that as a connector, of groups and of families here. And it was important that I saw that, so that I continue in my own life to continue those traditions. Anyway, guys, it's a fun one. It's worth your time. I hope everyone has been well. I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by and checking out my video. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel for more movie and TV related content. But give this one a try, guys. High on the Hog, episode 1. It's really a fun and an educational journey. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.